So, well,
That's not our problem.
it's not. Yeah, sucks to suck sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Yesterday's game was definitely one of those games that the Seahawks like to give us high blood pressure. They like to make us sweat. They like to make us oh my gosh. It was definitely a typical Seahawk game, but we went into New York. Um and oh my gosh, we finally pulled out a win. But I think honestly, we were lucky. We were so lucky to pull off that win yesterday. But Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be 41 years old, or I think he is 41 now, but
Yeah, happy
he's still
early birthday.
right. He's
Welcome
still
to
scary.
yeah. He is, but I think it's clear to. I think it's safe to say, as much of a Hall of Famer, an amazing player as he is, he'll always go down as a legend. He's over the hump, I
Right.
believe, well over the hump. But yeah,
Right.
definitely stressful yesterday. It was, we were talking. It was crazy. It was ugly, but it wasn't an ugly, boring game. It was very
Right.
entertaining to watch, and it was funny. It was actually very laughable at times. After Chenault's second fumble, I wasn't even mad. I was literally laughing. I was like,
Right.
you can't make this shit up, man. It was funny. But
You
yeah,
can't.
we,
A
we
win is a
persevered.
win. A win is a win. Let's
Mhm.
talk. Seahawks are now 7-5, top of the NFC West. We went from what being in last place 2 weeks ago. Now we're at the top. This season is crazy, and that's how close the race is for this NFC West. But let's talk about our offense. Oof, what are some standout moments? First half was pee pee poo poo, as I like to say. Pee pee poo poo was especially the first quarter for us was definitely a struggle bus, not just with offense, but we'll talk about strictly offense right now.
I think it was
We
more poo poo than pee pee, if you ask me. I mean, it's so bland. I like that Grubb is attempting to run the ball, but I'm like, are we really? Uh, I love that got into the I formation on the goal line. I don't love that we couldn't get it in there. It was,
how
you
many
know,
chances are we gonna get? Did it kind of give you flashbacks to Super Bowl?
yo, when he threw the ball to DK on the goal line, I was like, holy shit. We can't
Like
say run the ball because we got stuffed a few plays prior to that. It was just I
we did.
think when we're talking
We
about
did.
ugly parts of the game, it wasn't even the mess ups for me. It was the stalemates that we kept running into on offense.
Mhm. Mhm.
But here's what I'll say: is to keep chugging along, facing all the adversity that they had, from the jump with all the botched fumbles and whatever. Man,
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
to overcome that and keep trying to move the ball, inch it forward. And uh, I'm just gonna say this. This is the one thing I don't agree with. Take the points, man. Take the goddamn points, man.
Okay,
Holy
that's
shit.
what I'm saying. I like literally kept hearing my dad. If my dad and I were watching, my dad would be saying the same shit. Take the points. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because we haven't been successful. And so that play call is all who Grub. That's all play call by Grub. Yeah.
It's it's
No.
it's Grubb's play calling. I would imagine that it's Coach McDonald's. He gets the final say on if they're gonna go for it or not.
Yep.
But I think the reason why we were going for it is because we could trust that the defense was going to hold it down, and they did. But yeah, sticking to the offense, take the goddamn points every single time. There's a point when the game where we were down by 6, and then they were like, we were down by 5 or 6 or whatever, and we're like, if they score, they can take the lead. I was like, if we kicked the 2 field goals that we went for it on 4th down, we would have been up 1
Right.
point by now, not trying to play from behind.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me. It's hard enough to get touchdowns and points period in the NFL. So when you have those moments and you have a great kicker like Jason Myers, take the points, man.
Yeah.
Like help
Shout
your
out
defense
Jason
out.
Myers.
Yeah, man, he did
He's
his
killing
thing.
it. Can we
Yeah.
talk about how much time Gino had in the pocket though? This game, I felt like he had so much time, but we couldn't really see what was going on in the
Mhm.
backfield. Were people just not open? What was going
Uh,
on? Like, I have no idea.
so remember, I think it was week 2 where I was like, "There's something really cool about when Gino, when he catches the ball, hikes the ball, and he's
Mhm.
catches it, steps, and throws in rhythm. Every time I see him comfortably throw in rhythm, I know everything is lined up, the timing, the receivers where it's supposed to be. But when I see him holding on to the ball, all that tells me on the back end is that his receivers aren't getting any separation. So
Mhm,
I
mhm.
I don't want to say that he's holding the ball too long because on every play I couldn't see what's happening on the backside. But I do love when we run crossing routes, called mesh routes. When instead of like going deep, sorry, my
Are they
chapstick,
like this?
they just go this way. They cross this way. Like
Oh, okay.
those are some of the hardest route progressions to guard because you got linebackers and nickel corners crashing into each other. Like they're hard to guard, and that's where we've found the most success. I feel like is underneath routes. But yeah, yesterday the few times I did see him hold the ball, a couple of those times I was like, yeah, they're going way too deep, and you're trying to get a separation on Sauce and Reed over there, two of the best corners in
Mhm,
the league. So I was like,
mhm,
it ain't gonna
mhm.
happen. But
Right. But we pulled it off somehow
somehow,
'cause
yeah. I'm more concerned about what the run game. I mean, you got is
yeah, I don't
I'm really at a loss for words, and usually I have too many words to say. But uh, the one thing I can see as clear as day is that they aren't getting any push. Before I was like, we can't protect Gino. Now
Mhm,
it's like we can't get no push on the line, and usually that's the. I'm not gonna say it's easier to run block, but it's easier. I played guard in college a little bit, and it's easier for me to move forward on a track and connect with somebody, at least create a slow them down, get in the way, do something. Don't get blown backwards. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And
mhm.
yeah, the freaking I don't know what to do about that. That's one of the few things I don't know how to get better at on offense is like how to get better push on the run. I mean, you either got it or you don't. Abe Lucas is one of the few cats I see move people,
Mhm, mhm.
play out. But yeah, when
I mean,
Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker are just getting hit as soon as they touch the ball, or they're having to like take a juke step right when the ball's in the basket. I'm like, damn, that's like they're just getting D lines just plowing through them on the runs. So
right. We did start a rookie offensive lineman though. What
yeah,
was his name?
Lamel,
Mhm.
yeah, and he looked like a rookie the first few
First
series.
steps, yeah.
But there were a couple plays where our running backs did spring for little runs, and I was like, "Oh, look at Lamel up in the second level on the linebackers." Okay. Maybe it just took a little, just like
Yeah,
Oluwatimi. Maybe give him a shot, and
right.
yeah, I love the way they're at least they're getting they're doing just enough.
Mhm,
The
mhm.
line does just enough. You have a quarterback like Gino and a receiving crew like the ones we have, and then the way the defense is playing. Yeah, I think you're okay. That's a great recipe for success right there.
Right, and I think we have to remember too, the Seahawks tend to play to their opponent's level, and I was literally screaming at the TV like, "We're playing the Jets. We're playing the Jets," but then I had to, like, say, "But don't play like the Jets. Don't play like
Yeah,
them." Oh my gosh.
that's the one. Here's the one thing though. You got to remember the Jets. They're not known for offense. Brees Hall is one of the best running backs in the league. Yes, Devontae Adams.
Mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
individually one of the best receivers. Garrett Wilson's amazing, but they're known for their defense. Their defense is
Right.
very stout. So I was like, okay, that's kind of what I had to tell myself. Freak, we
Mhm.
look like ass right now on offense, but it's the
Poo-poo.
Jets defense. They're good, man. They're really good. So they
Okay,
found a way to get it done, and I'm happy about it. Whatever.
what grade would you give our offense for yesterday's game?
I give them a C plus.
Okay, yeah,
That was an
average.
easy one. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
passing grade. You get to graduate high school, guys, with a C plus.
C's
Yeah.
get degrees, can't be mad about that.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to defense. Standout moments on defense. I think we both agree. We already know what this is who we're gonna talk about. We already know. Everybody knows who we're gonna talk about.
That's my cat right there. Big cat.
Leonard Williams.
Bro.
Meow.
I said it from
From the
I told
jump.
yeah, from the jump. Last year, I remember telling KJ and G, I was like, Leonard Williams is my favorite player. I
Mhm,
said he's scary big, he's scary fast, he is violent, he's just an outright dog, and he's got
right.
like scary good hands. Hands is being able to hand fight. That's actually something, where
Mhm,
you gotta have good hands, keep the offensive lineman's hands off of you. But the
right.
dude, he'll like finesse somebody and wow, 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 hit him with the hands. Then he'll just freak up, pile drive you backwards. Guys like that are very hard to block. You never know what move they're gonna do, and he can play up and down on the good guitar strings. What that means is he could play defensive end, he could play nose guard, he could play the 3 technique and a D tackle, he could play the other split out wide. Like, he is that versatile. Not saying he's like Michael Bennett, but Michael Bennett's the only other guy that I can think of right off top that could play every single defensive line position and kill it. So my favorite player, man. So
me too. I was when he had his interception, I was washing dishes. So I wasn't like exactly in front of the TV. So I couldn't see who intercepted the ball. All I could see was him starting to run. His run started off really fast, right?
Yeah.
Started off super fast. And then he had all of his guys protecting him, right? But then when he got to the 50, I was like, why are you slowing down? I was like, why are you slowing down? And then my boyfriend goes, that's a big boy running. Alex,
because he's 300 pounds. That's why he's slowing down.
That's what he was saying. And I was like, oh.
You know what's funny is like big guys playing defensive end and defensive tackle. That was something I took a lot of pride in, is my first 10 yards. I could keep up with like the corners and the receivers, the first 10. But after that, I was like, yeah, they'll take off. I see exactly what you're talking about. He goes, tipped it up, caught it. He looked like a linebacker. And then by the time he hit like 30 yards, I was like, oh shit.
No, exactly. But I think what I loved about that moment too was the rest of the DBs and everybody else just like protecting him as he was running. And I was like, this is such a great moment. But I think in his post-game interview, he was like, when I hit the 50, I was debating whether to pitch it back to somebody, but he finished through. And at the end, I think it was Witherspoon like jumped on him or Kobe Bryant, and he just was like, I just need to lay down here for a second.
Yeah, that's so funny. And one thing that I love is I think that play alone is really a microcosm of how their defense has been since we got out of the bye week. And he said it perfectly. He goes, my teammates that were blocking for me, that convoy that they were, that 92 yard convoy, he's like, they wanted me to score that touchdown more than I wanted it. I was like, dude, that's that type of culture is you could see it. And that's kind of what we were saying when we were in that 3-game losing streak, and everybody's like, oh my God, they need to be good right now. I was like, bro, there's so much talent. It's just going to take time for it to mesh, because talent is one thing, but the culture, the chemistry, that you cannot cheat that just comes with time, so
comes with time.
Yeah, I love it. And then there's the obvious, Devin Witherspoon, who's just I love watching him play. Kobe Bryant is everywhere still. Julian Love. There's so many names. It seems like every single person on defense yesterday, I heard their name
multiple times.
Yeah. There was one play that I was like, I almost had flashbacks to where I was like, get him off the goddamn team. I was pissed. It's an effort play. That's all it was. But it was Reek Woolen, I just want to call him Tariq again. He was better when he was Tariq. He played better. But there was a play where it was like 3rd and 20 late in the game. And Aaron Rodgers threw it towards the left. It was an extended play. And the guy is just running for the first, and is the game-winning drive that they're trying to do. And Tariq Woolen just kind of, instead of diving in head first, he kind of just stood there and watched his teammate hit him out of bounds. I'm like, dude, what the? That's the type of shit that I'm like, he'll get away from it eventually, because Julian Love, he was on his head. I don't know what was he like. And then Tariq's like,
love it.
Yeah, I was like, that's the shit right there. Accountability right there. So
and we were talking about that too, right? Who on the team is going to be that leader? And I think they're finally figuring it out. Like you said, the culture, I think they're buying into the culture, the leadership and accountability. They're figuring all that out too. And you can just see it on the field. It's definitely developing a lot on the defensive side for
there's
sure.
the leadership, 1000%. The other thing that stands out to me as clear as day since the bye week is when we signed Ernest Jones, the pre-snap communication, the talking back and forth. And it's funny because somebody who is very anal about pre-snap communication is KJ. You know, it's like last year he's like, I don't hear nobody talking. I don't hear nobody saying you go here. Ernest Jones, the last, not this week, I didn't see any of it, but the 2 weeks, last week and the week before, he was literally before the ball snapped, run up and grab the D lineman and move his ass to the left or the right. You're like, you're in the wrong spot. Like, move over.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's the type of stuff. And then here's the coolest thing. There's some dude who was streaming on his podcast. I don't know his name, but I saw a video. It's scary how him and Tyrese Knight, they like were standing pre-snap next to each other, and before the ball hiked, they took like a little stutter step left, stutter step right. It was like perfectly in sync. It looked like they were on a string together. I was like, whoa. Like even their little gather steps before the ball's hiked was in sync.
Right.
It's really cool. So
that's so cool. I love it. I love watching our defense, and our defense held the Jets to 0 points in the second half, which was phenomenal. Amazing.
Well,
love to see it.
I'll say this. They only gave up, in my opinion, our defense gave a one actual driving touchdown. That was the first touchdown. The second one was off of the fumble, you know, and then
that's true.
That was it. That was the only time they scored. We did not give up one touchdown from the second quarter, you know. There was a kick return for a touchdown, was their third touchdown. So that's what I'm talking about. When you play stout D and you do just enough on offense and you steady that storm, you know, it's shit. We didn't give no points, and we put up just enough points. So
okay, so then what would you grade this defense? And do you think this is championship caliber defense? I don't know about that, but yeah, let's do your grade first and then answer that question.
So I give them the defense. I give them a B plus.
I agree. Yep.
Okay, I'll give them a B plus. Only because there's something about the Seahawks. We give up touchdowns in the first drive or two drives all season.
All season.
And we cannot get a touchdown on the first drive or two drives all season. I was like, that's just like, I don't know what it is. When you think the Seahawks defense, they're going to give up a touchdown in the first drive or two, and we're not going to get a touchdown on offense the first drive or two. So as soon as we nipped that in the bud right there, it lights out from the jump, then I give them a straight A, but I give them a B plus and 89.7% on this test right there.
All right. I agree with that completely.
You got an A minus, you know?
Right.
Now, is it championship B? I think we'll tell next week. I'll tell next week if it's championship D, because right now it's championship defense. That is 1,000% championship D. To not give up any points for 3 quarters, 1,000%. You know, but it's, you know, since the bye week we're 3-0, and the defense have played great those 3 games. But 4 is kind of the one that solidifies it for me. I feel like we do it one more time. Right. So, and we do it against a team like Arizona. They got a great offense, you know. So
yeah, it'll be a good test for us for sure. Even though we just played them, it's nice to play them again, and that's who we're gonna see next. But other random like,
did you watch the game on TV?
Which one?
This game. Did you watch it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you're always at the games, I feel like. But I actually like Mark Sanchez. I like his commentary.
Okay.
The past 2 weeks. He's had us the past 2 weeks.
I like him. I think he talks a little slow for me. Sometimes I'm like,
what do you mean a little slow?
Like, I don't know. I'm like, I think his cadence of talking while he's
like actual cadence, like he's talking like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a little slow. But I like him.
How does that work in the huddle when you have to spider 2 wide banana? You know, you got ace right, split left, blah 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 blah, spider 2 wide banana.
Like, I don't know. It's just like, maybe it's just a personal preference when I hear like announcers talk. But yeah, no, I like him too. I like him a lot. I was enjoying, because it's kind of cool too, because he was a Jet, right? So he can kind of talk about his experience, and you can hear about him and Gino and everything, which is really cool. And there was a lot of ex-Jets that were playing against the Jets, so that was kind of cool.
That is cool. And speaking of the Jets playing against the Jets, I was like, sorry to go back to Leonard. He looks. I always talk about how just amazing he is and how violent he is, how nasty he is. The last 2 weeks, he looks like he's pissed. Like he's playing like he looks pissed off. Like Ray Lewis status looks like Ray
I love
Lewis was
it.
always looking pissed off and ready to like just wanted to kill somebody. That's what Leonard Williams looks like to me right now. It's
Yeah,
it's a different type of dog. It's another level of dog you can tap into right there.
I
Like you're
love it.
off. Ray Lewis, I'm pissed off for greatness. You know, so
Wait, did you see, like, one of the posts, like, when they're walking back in the tunnel after the game, Leonard Williams ate his W. Did I send that to you?
he said,
He'll
"What?
s Leonard Williams ate his W.
Oh, you mean he like this?"
He did, he did, he did. It's on the Instagram, the Seahawks Instagram. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
say it every time. I'm so happy you know that reference now. I
yeah.
I felt hella dumb when I did that the first time on this show, and you're like, why is
I
Josiah eating
had
his fingers?"
I just didn't know, but now I know, and now I know, and now I laugh. But,
Speaking of Jameis, though,
oh, yeah,
you
let's good transition, good
know,
transition.
Jameis, oh my god, tonight, wild numbers. If you want to watch a wild quarterback, he threw up almost 500 yards, 4 tutties, and freaking 2 pick sixes. It's like I don't throw touchdowns very much, but when I do, they're for or I don't throw interceptions very much, but when I do, they're for touchdowns.
Oh my god.
But
No, seriously, he set, like, the Browns' new record for passing yards in a game, and
almost 500.
but they still lost.
Damn.
The Broncos put up hella points tonight. I was very surprised.
I'm
41
gonna
to 32?
Yeah, yeah, well, dude, Bo Nix, real
Whoa,
deal, man. Holy smokes. I love him
that's
watching him play.
crazy.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, no, I'm gonna come back to this. I don't want to get off track, but we always been talking about the Bengals getting hella
Yeah.
points and keep losing. Oh my god, man, it's
Same thing.
crazy.
They just lost to the Steelers.
Yeah,
Same. I had that written down. 44 to 38. Same thing. It's
poor guys.
crazy. I know. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
It's
what's gonna happen is they're gonna be short a defensive coordinator. I feel like, man, because your offense can only score so many points, but when you get
exactly.
outscored every time, that
Right.
sucks. But yeah, Jameis. Sorry, I want to go back to Jameis because I
Back
love
to
Jameis.
Jameis because he's a character, and
I-
I think we just both, like, are in love with who he is and his personality and, like, the energy he brings to the team.
Energy and like what's so funny is because we talk about how people would think he's kind of corny,
Mhm.
but in my opinion, it's the type of corny that's contagious and people love it. Like there's
Mhm.
not one person that I guarantee you there's not one person on the planet that hates Jameis Winston. He's
Right.
just one
Right.
of those type of dudes. The pregame interview last week before he's playing in snow, she's like, "So Jameis, blah 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 blah." I don't remember what she answered, but he's like, "Yeah, fuck your question." He's just like, I just feel so blessed to be out here and play in the snow. I was like, yo, is this guy on shrooms right now? I freaking love it.
Might be. I think I saw a video of him and his family, and they were at, like, some sort of burger drive-in place, and they actually, like, put, like, a tray on your windowsill
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
drive-in, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're putting this I can just eat right here?" And he was just, like, so shocked, and his kids are sitting on his lap, and he's just, like, so amazed. He just seems like a very genuine person who just,
yeah,
enjoys life, is very grateful of every opportunity he gets, and likes to eat his W's, but, I mean, he had to
yeah.
eat the L tonight,
Those
but
are those-
his pregame speeches are very popular nowadays to see on the internet, so I'm like,
I love to hear you say that he should start his own podcast after
yeah,
because I 1000% will be subscribing to that when that happens.
hell yeah.
That's good energy. So,
Hell yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome. Other news, CMC. Oh my
oof.
gosh.
Did you watch
He's
the replay on that injury?
I can't watch replays. I'm one of those people who could never watch those shows, like, what are those skating shows? They would, like, show them, like, breaking bones. And remember on MTV, what was that show
Oh yeah.
called? I can't watch that shit. Like, I saw a TikTok, and they were showing him close up running, and as soon as he took the step, I swiped up because I could not see what happened to his knee.
It was what I saw, it was a non-contact
Right.
injury,
He
it
was just
was
running.
but you just see like this he plants on the left foot, but in slow-mo you see from the Achilles tendon through the calf to the hamstring. You just see something like go like this, like it just popped. Something shook his leg. Oh, I was like, yo, I don't know. it looked like the whole backside of his left leg just snapped like a rubber band or something. It's
That's too
tough.
bad.
I
That
know.
is too bad. Like, from the start that he had to coming back, the expectations, everybody drafting him in their first round for fantasy football. It's just
Man.
not good. It's just not good.
I'm all about rivalry games and whatnot, but and yeah, he's a Niner. But at the end of the day, I love
Right.
football and I love athletes watching certain players play. CMC is one of those guys, and I hate to see
Mhm.
that shit, man. I really
Right.
do.
Right. I do too. So wishing him the best. Hopefully he can recover and pop back from that. But
Yeah,
it was rough.
and
It's
Jordan Mason too is on is
on
out
IR.
too. Holy shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't catch a break over there in Frisco.
I know. As much, yeah, like you said, as much of a rivalry as we like to see the other team be in last place, they're still human and they're still human.
They got a job, man. This is what we talk about: people putting their bodies
Mhm.
on the line for a game they love and for the fans and whatnot.
Literally.
So yeah. Oh well, on to the Seahawks again. So go back in first
Okay.
place.
So we're back in first place. We are currently in third place in the NFC. Can you believe that? Right. But
Okay,
I
I didn't even
mean,
know that.
better than the Vikings, 5th, Packers 6th, Commanders 7th. Like I I don't understand.
You mean we'd be the 3 seed right now? We're the 3 seed if the playoffs going in the playoffs right now.
Let's see, because we have our record is 7-5, right? I guess
Yeah,
no. What does that mean, Mike? What did Mike say? He wrote that in the notes. I don't know what that means.
we're the 3rd seed. I think
Okay,
so. If
we're
the
the
playoffs
3rd
started next week, we going
next
as number
week,
3. So which is
but
good because uh that matchup if the playoffs started, that means we wouldn't be playing against the Lions. So that's good. You know. The
I
Lions, I think the Lions will have a bye week, and then their first game they'll go off the lowest seed. Um, so yeah, that's good.
I mean, I made a TikTok and it was just kind of like at the new NFC West standing, and it was just like, oh my god, what is that? Like I did that TikTok, and people in the comments, it's just like, okay, yeah, you guys are the weakest conference, and I'm like, I mean, but we're still in first place.
You know what?
I
People just
mean, yeah.
shut their goddamn mouths because if anybody knows anything about football, the playoffs is a whole new story. All you have to
Oh,
do, the point
100%.
of your season, get to the postseason. That's it. Because
Mhm.
it's a brand new freaking like last year. Everybody thought the Ravens were going to take it. The season Lamar Jackson was having. And then they do what every team does in the playoffs when they come across the Chiefs. They freaking choke. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh,
So I don't care how
yeah,
good somebody's season is during the season. Don't mean shit until you get to the postseason. So see how you
right.
play then. And like I said, but we talked about this earlier. I'm glad we got all that bad juju out of our way early on in the season. That 3-game losing streak. God, I thought that would never end. But
Mm,
hey, it's a new season since our bye week, our kumbaya come to Jesus moment the team must have had because we got brand new linebackers. They released
right.
the Chenault after those 2 fumbles.
Ugh,
Like Mike ain't playing. Mike
he's not
McDonald
playing.
ain't
I
playing, man.
ain't playing. So right now, the NFC standings are Lions, Eagles, Seahawks, Falcons, Vikings. Those are top 5 right now.
Hmm.
Crazy.
See, and if my opinion, like if we're talking about the weakest team going into, you said Falcons who's the last one?
Vikings.
Yeah, see, in my opinion, the weak God, I don't want to say weakest team out of the ones you named, but Atlanta, in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to say we have the weakest division is wild, man. That's crazy. So
I guess we'll find out. But speaking of the NFC West, we are currently in the first place, 7-5.
I just don't want to play the Eagles right now or the Lions. Just don't line us up with the Eagles or Lions. They
Ugh,
look that both of them. That's the
always.
Super Bowl I wish. I wish they could have played each other for a Super Bowl right now. They're both NFC, so it never happened. But
Right.
remember when we went to the Super Bowl and we played the 49ers for their championship game? I was like, that should have been the Super Bowl because we blew out Denver that year. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, 100%,
So
100%.
anyway,
I
sorry.
know. So we're first. Next, we're playing the Cardinals. Then we got the Packers, and we got the Vikings. Cardinals next week. I'm thinking, oh gosh. I don't even remember my predictions from before, but I think
You split it. You went
I think I
500.
did split it, but I don't wanna split it again. I wanna win
Oh
because
yeah.
we need to win. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. 100%.
This is when the way Leonard Williams is playing right now,
Oh, he's on fire.
and this I mean every level they're just kicking ass on every level. D line, linebackers, and secondary,
Mhm,
they're just killing it. And all the key to the Cardinals beating them is just get Kyler Murray uncomfortable, put him in
mhm.
pressure. He
True.
turns in. He just starts freaking killing himself, in my opinion. So
Wait, did you see the meme or the Seahawks social team is amazing. I think all these sports teams' social teams are so great. I think they did, like, the Seahawks playing, like, on a game console, kinda just mocking Kyler Murray because remember he had to sign a contract saying that he would do his film and not play video games as much. I'll send you the meme. It's so funny. It's so
he's playing
good.
like it though. He's playing like he actually
Yeah.
watches film now.
I mean, I hope so.
Do
Shit.
you remember? Oh fuck, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing. Jamarcus Russell. Do you remember? Does that name ring a bell?
No.
Okay, so Jamarcus Russell, he was like drafted number 1 out of LSU years ago, and to the
Mhm,
Raiders, and might have been number 2. It was 1 or 2, I can't remember. But after LSU, huge guy, 6'6", 280, like could throw the ball 100 yards.
mhm.
Anyway, they were just catching his ass. He sucked. He's actually gone down as the biggest NFL bust in history. Like that's what he's known for. So if
Okay.
you Google that right now, you'll see Jamarcus Russell pop right up. Anyways, they would do shit like the coaches give him film to watch, and then they would give him film that had nothing on it, like cartoons and shit. And then he'd come back the next day. Did you watch film? He's like, yeah, I watched film. It was great. They would, and then it shows,
Stop
man.
it.
Yeah, random
Wow.
story, but
I
holy shit.
mean,
You talk
come
about
on.
Kyler gaming, and now he's promising to watch more film. I thought of Jamarcus
I
Russell right
wonder yeah, I mean, that'd be kinda funny if they did that, but Cardinals are 2nd, Rams are 3rd, and Niners are at the bottom at 5
now.
and 7.
Just like that.
Just like that, literally, it switched in a matter of, what, a week and 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
I actually think you can kinda, as we start to hit the back end of the season right now, you can kinda we were neck and neck, you can kinda start to see who the stronger or weaker teams are,
Mhm,
and there's gonna
mhm.
be you'll start to see the separation more and more, I think. I think
Yeah,
Seattle's gonna take the division, in my opinion, so
crazy. 5 games, 5 weeks left in regular season. It's crazy! Oh
remember
my
how we
gosh.
did, uh, predictions on the record before the season started? Or maybe, like, the first 2
Yeah, yeah,
games?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, we were feeling hella optimistic. It was like, "They could go 11-6, 10-2." Yo, it ain't over yet. We still got room for one more loss
I
to
was
go
thinking honestly,
11.
I was thinking that the other day too, because I was like, "All right, well, we're not, like, super far off, like, we might get this. I think we might," especially after last week's game. I'm feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling good.
I'm still like, Geno sucks. Get rid of him. Get some new starters, like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just the more I see the wins come, the more I think about all the idiots that were talking shit in the comments,
Yeah.
all the other stuff. Oh god, people just don't know football. It's all right
It's
though.
okay. Haters are gonna hate. People are
Haters
just gonna
gonna hate.
we love the internet. We love the comments. Keep them coming. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, wonderful holiday. Hope you ate some prime rib instead of turkey. Just kidding.
Yeah, we don't do turkey. We're not doing we agreed this year. This is our last turkey
Right.
year. So
Yeah. Prime rib all day. Awesome. Well, shout out
yeah.
to wait, who were you talking about earlier? Shout out. We got a shout out, special shout out for one of our
Lori,
viewers.
I
Lori.
never got it. Yeah, coming from Beer in Washington, man.
Shout out
She works with
Lori.
my sister,
Mhm.
my little sister Kayla. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's one of the loyals out there. So Lori, I don't know your last name, but you know who you are. Just want to give
Yes.
you some love out there, Lori. If you're listening, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Spread the love to your friends.
Yes, please.
So, all right.
All right, everybody, let's get ready for this week. Thank you for watching. This is Alex and Josiah. See
Hey,
y'all later.
hey. All right, y'all. Take it easy.
Bye.